Hello and welcome to New Filmmakers Los Angeles in partnership with Movie Maker magazine. My name is Danny DeLillo. We're here at the South Park Center. I'm delighted to be joined with Anna, Adam and Ho-Jung with their movie, The Cho Stories. Let's take a look at the clip.
Keep going. I'm right behind you.
This is a joy to have you all here. Welcome to the New Filmmakers LA family. Thank you so much for bringing your film to us. It was so special, and we're very grateful to have you part of us. But for those that haven't seen it, Anna, tell us a brief synopsis.
The Cho Stories is about a Korean-American family, and it's centered around the mother's gambling addiction and how that shatters the whole family and the impact it has. And it's a trilogy of 3 shorts that were made at different times and then compacted into a 33-minute narrative.
I didn't want it to end, actually. I really love how you combine those stories together, and I was so invested in this family and what this family was going through. It was very hard-hitting to watch. You had this beautiful family just going through so much. Where did the inspiration come for you in deciding to turn this, story into a film?
I think the seed came from Mrs. Cho's character, who's loosely based on a family friend, and her addiction, did end her life. But I think the rest of the structure and the story comes from my immigrant background, having come here when I was 8 years old and growing up in the Korean American community in Philadelphia, and all the extended non-blood families that we had where we were all connected to each other.
Mm-hmm.
And but I did want to center the story around one particular family,
Mm-hmm.
and have that sort of symbolize
Mm-hmm.
a lot of the families that I knew.
Yeah. Ho-Jung, playing in this particular role, playing this very poignant film, working with Anna on this project, what was it like for you? Because there's so much kind of at stake here. There's a lot going on. There's a lot to experience. How was it working with Anna, and how did you kind of work together on developing the character?
Well, we had a lot of conversations over the phone because I'm based in LA and she's based in New York. And also, I think on the set, she gave me a lot of freedom, but I think that she already knew, because her script was really strong, that everything was there. And that's why I believe that she gave me a lot of freedom to experiment. And when there were certain points that I had to hit, she would let me know. But it wasn't in a way where she was controlling or telling me, you have to hit this mark and this mark and this mark. It was kind of choreographed without me feeling shackled or, bounded by, a fence or anything.
It's like an actor's dream, isn't it, when you got that?
Yeah. She's great.
Yeah, fantastic.
I just had a really great time with her.
And Anna, you produced this project.
Mm-hmm.
It's, again, producing a short film, but like a kind of extended short film, 33 minutes. There was a lot of scenes, a lot of different setups. What was your kind of experience of producing? How did you kind of come together to work with Anna?
I've actually been working with Anna for a very long time in the independent film community in New York City. For this film, I started, my apartment's heavily featured, by the way, in this film.
Oh,
yes.
Well, thank you, Anna's apartment.
Should have just note that. But I started.
I paid you lots of money. Yes.
I started as an associate producer with Appa, the third one, but I eventually became the lead producer of this project. And one of the things that I had a discussion with Anna was we really like the anthology format of the Cho Stories. We kind of talked about making this super cut version of the movie, and they all really work well together. And the idea of focusing on different characters in this world that she's created, but more of an episodic kind of nature to it. And it just kind of evolved into Cho Stories. And I know it's short, over 30 minutes, but it's kind of an experimental format.
Yeah.
And that's kind of the really thing that I like about it that makes it so unique, and it's so apart like the format is also so part of its story too.
Yeah, most definitely.
Yeah, so it's I love working with her. We have a lot of other projects we're working on together. So yeah, we're based out in Greenpoint, Brooklyn.
Oh, I'm in Brooklyn. Hey, Greenpoint, Brooklyn. I just want to say I think it was so important to touch on a subject like this, and it's also kind of a rarity where we see the mother, kind of in this situation. I know many kind of mothers that have been in this kind of situation with their children. I thought that like the way the children reacted, and obviously the father as well, was just so real. It felt so real what one family kind of goes through. How did you work? Because you had to work with children. You obviously had a very difficult subject. Like, what's your kind of process as a director?
Well, I think being a mother helps.
Yeah, of course. Right.
I have a 13-year-old daughter, but obviously this is a fictional setting, but I think the empathy that I bring to my characters as a mother, as a parent, leads me as a storyteller in this type of story. And I think just knowing that world that I'm building very well and closely, like I don't judge my characters. I mean, obviously so many of them have so many flaws, and in our culture the sense of shame is so there's so many things that are taboo about showing your weakness, and I just wanted to really explore that as a storyteller of mothers and parent figures that we don't really see because narratively, like, we may be judged, and I just wanted to voice those people without giving them additional baggage.
Yeah. I mean, it's amazing because there was just such a fight in keeping this family, together, and and the struggles that you just have, finance, everything, having someone that's going through an illness, etc. And I think we forget to say that it's an illness that someone's going through. Not everyone is an addict, and this was a situation of someone that you wanted to rescue her. You wanted things to change. With that being said, everything that you've kind of been through, coming here as 8 years old, experienced this whole thing, and the choices that you've made in this film as well. Like, what did you want your audience to experience from it? Was there kind of certain things that you hoping it would hit to your audience?
I think one of the primary goals for me as a filmmaker is that I do want the viewer, the audience, anyone who's experiencing it to feel like they are there at that table.
Yeah.
Like they're sitting at the table, or they're in that scene.
Definitely.
And I think I hit that. Some of the scenes, obviously, it's your film, and when you watch it, you don't feel like you hit it all the time. I mean, that's why we keep making next body of work. But my main objective really was to show sort of an underworld of Korean Americans that doesn't really get shown much. We do get a lot of, obviously attention for being very academically driven, or, very commercially successful, or, scholarly. I did want to explore the deep impact that we have in our community about anything like that has to do with mental illness or addiction, or like not performing on a certain standard level is faced with like a lot of historical judgment, like by internal circle and external circle within our communities, and we tend to hide it rather than like seek help in a lot of our communities. So I wanted to explore the contradictions within our own community and dive deeper into the taboo aspects and this sense of shame that we hide, and why don't we get help for a mental illness within certain immigrant communities, and specifically the Korean American community. Like, why do we have such harsh judgments within ourselves rather than try to be more open and transparent about mental health.
Yeah,
right?
no, most definitely. And Ho-Jung, you're like the light in the film with your character. You know, for you in this experience, and you know, again, I love watching you on film. But like, what have you kind of learned from playing this role, this character? What kind of things have? And I know you do loads of things, but like, what have you maybe learned from this particular role?
I think responsibility for your family, because Mrs. Cho is my sister.
Yeah.
And so just a connection of my sister in the bloodline, and
Yeah.
that's my responsibility, and you just have to carry on through.
Yeah.
That's what I learned about this.
Yeah.
Because I don't have any children, so I can't relate, but it's so similar to me, right?
Yeah.
She doesn't have any children.
But
so-
but again, you were the light in those kids' lives. You know, I've got a very similar situation.
It's like
my
you-
aunt saved me as well, and so like.
Well, I have to
you know,
save them because I wasn't able to save my sister, so I
Yeah.
have to.
Yeah.
That's my duty. And
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it was really beautiful to see you just come in and just whip up those kids and just take care of them. You know, it was really special. I think it kind of resonated like universally for anyone watching. Like, we have a responsibility as
Yeah.
family to take care of our, you know, the next generation, our little ones, whether they're our bloodline or not. You know,
Yeah.
and so that was really special to see. Adam, for you, I can't imagine what it's like, you know, producing any independent project, but any challenges that came across you? Was it plain sailing, easy? I know your experience working together.
One of the interesting things about this movie was that it was made over like the course of like 3 different years. So,
Yeah.
you know, it kind of happened in different chapters, and you know, it wasn't like there was going to be part 2 right away, then part 3, and then also we were very lucky to that. Particularly, like you see the kid actors grow up on screen. That
Yeah.
we were able to keep that consistency go throughout, because they were like, one was like made. They're like over the course of about 3 different years, essentially.
Yeah.
So that the fact that we were able to get through that to the other side, and then to be able to also see. I mean, how often do you get to see like kids from film to film grow up on screen?
I
Like,
know,
right?
I know,
It's
right?
like
It's amazing. It's
Except
amazing.
Boyhood.
Yeah, I was just thinking Boyhood.
Oh, right. Well, yeah, but
Or you know, or Anna's film, you know. It's
yeah,
like,
exactly.
True stories.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so-
exactly. you know,
So I would say that's like kind of like one of the things, like
Yeah.
I would say we were a challenge that could have gone south,
Yeah.
but everything ended up really working itself out.
And they were great, and it just goes to show like they were so good as siblings. I was like so in love with just the way they connected with each other, but also just how, you know, I mean, we can learn so much from young people, and how they're, you know, they're so resilient, you know, and that really showed. Was that kind of a part of an aspect you kind of wanted to show as well?
Yeah, definitely. I wanted to show that their strength is like within,
Yeah.
right? I mean, I think that's the beauty of, you know, growing up in your sort of childhood selves. Like, there might be like so many things that are wrong externally, but their spirit is their spirit,
Yeah.
and they actually are independent souls and beings that have the autonomous ability to, you know, do what they need to do in life. And I wanted them to always, whether they're resisting their parents or ignoring them or whatnot, like the moments that they're on screen, they are leading their own selves, and that they're not going to be tragic victims
Yeah.
of this circumstance, despite, you know,
Where they came from?
despite what happens to their parents.
Yeah.
Their will to live is independent
Yeah.
of their parents.
Wait, so I was just going to say a comment about the daughter shoplifting, and I think that's what it is. It's like self-preservation.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just got that.
Yeah,
So,
no.
Yeah, that's
well,
right.
isn't it great? We can talk about the film. We're learning so much.
Yeah.
Isn't it great?
Right?
But and again, that's the beauty of the whole experience. You learn so much from people's reactions, and everyone takes something different from it as well. What was the experience like having it on the big screen? Like, how was that? I mean, I was there. The audience reaction, it was so special. How was that all for you?
I think it's just seeing films with an audience is always magical, you know, and I really, as other filmmakers said last night, it's just something that you miss, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, even before the pandemic, right? Like, because habit right now of seeing so many things by yourself, you know, or just with small group, small screen, you lose the impact, right?
Yeah.
And I did feel the energy of the room, like
Yeah.
as the film was happening, like I sensed like we were kind of like reaching a certain breath together.
Yeah.
Like you're breathing rhythmically, like with the scenes. And for anybody who, you know, makes anything, that's that's an amazing honor, right?
Yeah. Well, I felt the energy of everyone listening to you last night in the Q&A. They were really just, you know, attentive to everything that you shared, which was, you know, credit to you. Adam, is it nice to see, I know you've worked together before, is it nice to see, like, we did it kind of feeling when you get to see it on the big screen?
Yeah, absolutely. Because, I mean, this happened, all these movies, well, the different chapters of this movie happened in different chapters. And then now, years later, after all this work, to remember all those moments of it being made, and then to see it all come together, it's just kind of really emotional, actually.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I was really like, I don't know, because I've seen the movie like a million times, but like on my laptop and all things like that. But like when I saw it, last night, I was like kind of wanted to like get really like it was hearing the sound, basically the pandemic, plus going back.
Yeah.
And being in that room with people and everyone just hearing their emotions, it just wanted to make me kind of like emotional there, like I'm kind of right now.
No, it is because you really you come through and made this as well, and like, you know, and you know, I think everyone, Ho-Jung, with your character, I think everyone needs someone like that in their family that, you know, kids can turn upon, that can rescue, like a, you know, in distress, you know. Has there been reaction for you, like playing the sister, like, you know, from just, you know,
What do you mean?
being the savior basically to a family that's going through so much? Because there's probably a lot of people that have experienced that in their own families. You kind of ever had that in the reaction yet in the festivals?
Well, I've had people come up and I think it was because the aunt was, yes, I think because she was so loving.
Yeah.
That I think that really reached
Yeah.
a lot of people and touched them. And you do need someone
Yeah.
to rescue.
Yeah.
You know, in some dire moments like that, you do need someone. And it's
Yeah.
okay, you know?
I think it's also important because, you know, families, not all 2.4 children. Some people have grown up with their grandparents.
Yeah.
Some people have got, you know, split families, you know, and I think, you know, it was just a perfect example for people to sort of see, like, not every family is like this, you know, typical looking mother, father kind of family. It's all easy and a good dynamic. So, you know, I think that was something that I got from people in the audience that were talking about your film yesterday. Anyways, going down the line, start with you, Ho-Jung, what is next for you?
I just wrapped a independent film called Cricket in Oklahoma.
Oh,
So-
nice.
And then I did last year, fall, Stockade, directed and written by Eric McGinty, who happens to be her husband.
How keep it in the family.
Yeah.
Keep it in the family of the film. That's great.
And yeah,
And
about it right now.
Stockade is in post-production right now.
it
so,
there you go.
Yeah.
Fantastic. That's wonderful to hear. How about you, Adam?
Well, I just finished co-producing Stockade.
Oh, great. I love it. You're never gonna leave each other. This is a family
Here's
right
a
here.
family.
Yes, I love
That's
that.
why we're on the couch.
Yeah, I know. I tried to put on. They said no, you're not part of the family. So yeah.
Yeah, no,
That's great.
we finished co-producing basically another act of the film. So after this, I have a documentary I'm directing that I will be divulging down the line.
Great. Oh,
So that'll be
fantastic.
this upcoming summer.
Yeah.
So that's kind of my projects right now.
That's amazing. That's amazing. And Anna, we kind of got a sneaky preview from what's going on with your
Yeah,
husband.
so production company Veronique Films, and we're currently in post-production for Stockade, and we're also developing basically my limited series that I'm writing, which is based on some of the characters from the Cho stories. And then I'm also writing a feature, and I have a day job as a supervising research producer on a true crime show that's in its 6th season. So we're keeping busy.
Good job. Amazing. I'm so proud of you. I'm glad that you found each other, because it's so nice when you find your filmmaking family, and it really shows, because trust is everything, right? So But I just want to say a big thank you for making the Cho stories. Like honestly, it was such a brilliant
Thank you.
combination of stories
Thank
put
you.
together, and I'm glad that these characters are going to be, you know, kind of living on as well. So congratulations, all three of you. Okay.
Thanks so
Ho-Jung,
much.
Adam, and Anna. Thank you very much.
Thank you.